Hello everybody. Brian here from quantlabs.net. Today we're going to look at the markets after a crazy, probably the most profitable theoretical day ever in Bitcoin. It went up $2,000. As trading bots have done crazy. I put them on my chat server. I'll be closing down a lot of my public chat stuff, getting sick and tired of all the tracking. As a result, I've had a private chat server for about coming up to 2 years now. So if you want to be part of that, we're pushing more people into it. If you want to be part of that, that's all cool. Just come on over to quantlabs.net. You'll get lifetime access plus all these other fancy stuff as well on how to do things like build algo trading and Motorwave, which is pretty well one of the best platforms out there. So let's get on with the show. Alright, so here we have our good old harmonic scans here on Motorwave. We are looking for, I prefer longs. I'm not a big, huge fan of shorts. So what we're going to look for is more higher target price from the harmonic scan versus the current price. So right now that's a short. This is the interesting trade that I really have been watching since yesterday. If you've seen it, you would have caught wind of it, you would have made a little bit of money, and that trend still continues. Both GBP, the pound against the dollar, and the pound against the franc. So this is an interesting trade. So there it is. It's still moving up. Not much more to go on the target level, but still pretty good. All right, so here we have the Australian 200. A lot of markets are performing like this as well, just topping up, struggling, going nowhere. But you can see it has a short call. A lot of these have short calls, okay? So we have the same thing with the euro, get a little bit of performance. So it's not as deep as some of the other ones for the euro. Here we have euro against the pound. It's been doing already. So here, the euro against the Turkish lira, it's an okay alternative, but it's been flat since November 22nd. So again, not a head top performer. Hong Kong, people are asking on my WhatsApp group. Again, that's going to close down very soon. About Hong Kong market, I don't know why people would trade it. It's been flat. It's a place to go where you don't want to make money. I could say the same thing about Singapore as well. There are some longs there, but again, for me to make the effort, it's really not worth it at this point. But you can see they are longs compared to, let's say, the euro, which is shorting. So again, these may be very early signs of recovery for from the coronavirus. Some of these markets, for both Hong Kong and Singapore, they've handled it much better than any of the other countries out there, like namely in the West. Again, more shorts. I'm not even going to mention them. 2-year bond shorting. Now this is bizarre because if you know, things have been so broken in the markets, like this major disconnect where you get higher markets, you would expect this to short, but yet if I'm going to show you soon the US markets, they're not really looking good, but yet you would expect these as a safe haven play to be moving up. Ain't happening. And again, this would also be should be a long as well because you have a weak US dollar. So I don't know what to tell you there. Again, the 5-year, here's a long. So maybe that just tells you that people want to go into a more longer term, higher term treasury. 5-year, 10-year is a short here. So you may see more of these. So they may be the opposite call. So they may be counteractive to the whole thing. So that would tell you then maybe treasury is not the place to go. I'll have to tell you, with Joe Biden coming in now as president, there's going to be a lot of credibility issues coming along. I don't like he's going to be, let's tax everybody. It's just going to be very anti-business. So that's where we are. Natural gas of all the commodities looks long, but again, it really depends on the winter. If it's warm, then yeah, but we still got 3-4 months of winter, so this may shoot up. Again here, wheat now is long, so it did trend up, pull back a little bit, and it started. These pairs here, pound against the Canadian dollar, pound against the Swiss franc, look really good. This one looks good too. I really like this one, the Australia New Zealand. Nice trend up. That's what we look for. As long as it trends up, we're doing okay. I've been talking about that in the last few days. Again, Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, and nothing to brag about. We got 3 of them, mixed calls here. Again, so here we can talk about the Deutsche 30, another short. Okay, here's the same with the UK 100. Again, we got another long call. So these are very convincing to me. Pound against the Canadian dollar. So British pound, another one, and then we have the British pound yet again with a CHF. Now, we got to talk about this really important thing when it comes to forex. U.S. dollars tanking. It's killing off a lot of the volume globally, from what I'm seeing. So this is one of the reasons why Bitcoin's done really well, because it's one of the last games in town where you can actually make not just money, but you can make a lot of it. But here's the interesting one. Now we're starting to see gold and silver starting to reverse. So this has been shortened for a while. So what does that tell you? That chances are the markets in the U.S. specifically are topping out. People are now moving and shifting back into gold. So this may start to move. Don't expect huge performance out of it, unlike with the Bitcoin or crypto. But it's a definite, like these calls are big now. This is gold in euro, gold in pound, and you can also tell which ones are going to be the most sought after currencies as well. So you can see them right here: euro, pound, Japan, yen, and New Zealand as well. But you can see here, probably out of all of them, so far the gold and yen is giving you possibly best performance, because that's a classic safe haven trade. So this might be something as more capital is being lined up. New Zealand, gold in New Zealand, gold in Singapore, okay, gold in Australia, or sorry, this is now moving silver. Silver's moving. There was a signal out last week that said that there's a demand for silver for solar panels, because silver's part of that. So that might be why you're getting better performance in gold. Thanks, Asher. Hey, man. So we've got silver in Canadian Australia. Maybe they're the suppliers, global suppliers. And again, you have the in euro as well, and now Hong Kong too. But look at that; those are big moves. So silver is definitely on the move. Okay, Australia. This is another one, as I said earlier. I do like these. Australia, New Zealand, Australia, Singapore. If you got any questions, let me know, or comments. This one has done okay. This is the kind of coin, if things went bad, the Hungarian. So really, it's not the star performer anymore. I think there are some movements into things like the Rand, the South African Rand, and the Turkish Lira. It's really flat, as you know. And again, here's another short call for the Deutsche bond as well, the Bund, I think. And even with the German market, actually it's moving up, oddly enough. That is bizarre. But has a short call. So if you're going to play any market, maybe Germany might be a good one. That would make sense, because they have a cleaner balance sheet compared to the rest of the world as well. Here's another one that's been really surprising me, is Netherlands as well. That one's been doing okay compared to the U.S. There's been some growth there. As I said, if you got any questions, let me know. Or comments. So yeah, there's some little bit of growth here with both Germany and Netherlands. So I don't really know what's going on over there. That's why I missed my Bloomberg. And then of course we moving down with the Asian. Again, flat and a short there between the Singapore and Japanese yen. UK 100. I've said this before. This one's got a short. So when you compare it to like Germany and Netherlands, you're better off to be in the German or Netherlands by the looks of it. Look at this with the US 30-year, not good at all. Short, short, short. This is I think this is the world saying to the US, you've made a wrong choice of a president, because he's anti-business. He's wanting to close up the markets. This is Biden, of course, I'm talking about. So again, long term, not good. You got 4 calls for shorts there. You would expect the U.S. 30-year to be quite safe to be in, but we're not seeing it. All right, so continuing along, we've got here India, USD rupee trending down, no good. Again, this is the key one I've been wanting to talk about. These are the overall markets. They talk about records. We just had Powell go on about his spiel. I look at the Fed, the U.S. Federal Reserve, are a bunch of crooks in my mind. They just put out lies out there about the U.S. markets and their guidance. They change the goalposts all the time. The confidence is not there. Apparently, they're not as transparent as they were supposed to be. They're very big on their statements. So, it's just a holding pattern right now with the U.S. So there's going to be some kind of catalyst coming that will potentially drop. They're hoping that the stimulus will save the day. It'll be very short term, and it's not going to be as big as they want. But even if it's bigger, it actually should maybe kill the markets, because it just adds more to the debt level of the U.S. and it just kills off the credibility of the U.S. as well. So this is a sort of thing people need to be aware of. So I do think that we are reaching potentially the peak of the U.S. markets. I can be wrong. Hey, why not, right? And then you look at the treasuries as well. Here's a 10-year. It's got a bit of a long there, not much. Still need a Trump information U.S. strength. That's from Ashar. All I can tell you is people dumped on Trump, and look what he did. He brought things and good things, but he was very pro-business, and that's what the markets like to see. Again, USD, let me just go on to the next one here. So again, we have USD Hong Kong, not looking good, but this may start to strengthen if you looked at the Hong Kong markets. So we don't know. USD Hong Kong, USD Turkey. I mean, the day you start to see the Turkish lira have a long outlook, it says something about what the world wants. A short there. Canadian and Swiss franc. Yeah, lots of shorts there. Again, this is the place. Pound, the British pound against the Canadian dollar, and pound against the Swiss franc. Now you see how many longs there are throughout this analysis. It's that convincing. So that's where I think capital is going, and a lot of it has to do with like people are writing off England and the British if they don't have they're not part of the EU. What people don't understand about Britain, they have so many options available to them. That's why they're not agreeing to a lot of stuff with what the Eurozone wants. They have so Asher says lots of people stay away from exotics. Good to see this. Yeah, but even if they're venturing into it, also says something about people like there's not a lot of return out there. So that's why they're moving into that. And Bitcoin, again, is the big one. I just listened to Yahoo Finance, and the reporter goes, well, what do you think of Bitcoin? And the guy has to say, I can't talk about Bitcoin because I'm out of compliance. So the regulations that whatever this guy has got has restrained him from talking about Bitcoin. It's the most stupidest thing, and you're going to put money into this kind of guy, and have your performance and a portfolio held back. That's why I'm doing the interactive brokers thing, because more and more I see what's going on in the so-called portfolio manager. The analysts, market analysis are just a bunch of idiots that don't know what they're doing. I mean, Christ, we just had a bot theoretically go from a 16 grand November 11th, pull over $120,000 in just over a month, but yet they can't talk about that same asset. These are the professionals. It just boggles my mind. Again, New Zealand I like as a currency. Look at that strength. That's a pretty nice. They've done an okay job. And look at this. Look at this. This is our first U.S. dollar asset at all this analysis among the very good. That's the only one. But that shows you how weak the U.S. dollar has weakened, and as just as a credibility has weakened that much. Anyways, Ashar says the Fed is terrified of crypto. The IMF, the International Money Fund, is scared of the crypto as well. I don't want to get into it because I'll probably get my stream deleted yet again when I talk about this. This is crazy. That's why I moved over to rumble.com, and a lot of these videos will be moved over to Rumble because I can talk about that stuff, and as well as on Parler. And that's why I'm moving off of the legacy social media very, very, very soon. So again, this is why, very good. So we'll leave it at that. I usually do my webinars live on Monday nights, so if you got anything else you might want to talk about, or just get on the chat server as well. And I don't need to go on about that. But thanks for watching. Have a good day, and see you later.